You're not stuck because you're failing. You're stuck because something in your life doesn't want you to change. And the worst part is, it doesn't control you by force. It controls you by making you feel like you're doing everything right. Every day, you try, you reflect, you analyze yourself, you look for meaning, you try to understand what's wrong, and it feels intelligent, it feels responsible, it feels like growth. But nothing actually changes. Weeks pass, months pass, sometimes years. And even though you feel more aware than before, your life keeps repeating itself. The same emotions, the same patterns, the same dissatisfaction, just with better explanations. At some point, a question appears. Why is nothing changing? And the obvious answer feels simple. I just need more awareness. I need deeper insight. I need to understand myself better. So you go further. You consume more. You think more. You reflect more. You search harder. But without realizing it, you are strengthening the very thing that keeps you stuck. Because the problem is not that you don't see. The problem is what you do immediately after you see. This is where almost everyone gets trapped. Because the moment you understand something about yourself, you act on it. You try to apply it. You try to improve it. You try to use it. And in that moment, you are no longer observing. You are interfering. You are managing yourself. You are controlling the experience. You are supervising the prison instead of leaving it. And this is why nothing changes, not because you lack awareness, but because awareness has become another form of activity, and the system feeds on that activity. Ancient Gnostic texts describe this with disturbing precision. They did not say people remain trapped because they are ignorant. They said people remain trapped because they believe they are already doing the right thing. In the Gnostic view, the prison is not external. It does not need walls. It does not need force. It only needs your participation. The moment your thoughts, your actions, your efforts align with the logic of the system, you begin to maintain it yourself. And this is the uncomfortable truth. You can see the illusion and still be completely inside it, because seeing is not enough. If the same you continues responding, nothing actually changes. This is what the Gnostics called false freedom, a state where you feel aware, you feel conscious, you feel like you're progressing. But internally, everything remains the same need to act, the same need to improve, the same need to correct, the same pressure to move forward. And because awareness is present, you mistake activity for transformation. This is why some of the most self-aware people feel the most stuck, because they never stop. They observe themselves. They analyze everything. They monitor their thoughts. They try to optimize their emotions. They turn consciousness into a project. But consciousness was never meant to be managed. And here is the key. The loop does not survive because you don't understand it. The loop survives because you keep doing something about it. Every insight becomes action. Every realization becomes effort. Every moment becomes something to fix. And as long as that continues, the system doesn't need to trap you. You are already maintaining it. You can see this pattern everywhere in your life, in relationships. You meet someone new. It feels different. It feels promising. You think, this time will be different. And for a while, it is. But slowly, the same dynamics return, the same tension, the same misunderstandings, the same emotional patterns. And what do? You analyze. You ask yourself, what is this teaching me? What pattern is this? What am I supposed to learn? you turn the experience into meaning. And while your understanding increases, the situation doesn't actually change, because the same center is still responding. Not the other person, not the situation. You, the part of you that needs to do something with everything. The same thing happens with your work, your goals, your purpose. You change direction. You choose something new. You believe it aligns better with who you are. But the feeling underneath remains the same. Restlessness, pressure, dissatisfaction. So you interpret it again. You tell yourself a new story, a better explanation, a more refined identity. But the result doesn't move, because the chooser never changed. And even spirituality becomes part of the loop. You meditate, you observe, you try to be present. But then you start asking, am I doing this right? Why am I not feeling peace yet? Why is this not working? And in that moment, presence becomes effort. Awareness becomes pressure, and pressure recreates the loop. This is the Gnostic warning. The trap is not the world. The trap is the reflex to respond. Every time something happens, you move, you think, you adjust, you interpret. And that movement is the engine. So what actually changes? Not your effort, not your strategy, not your understanding. What changes is the moment you stop interfering. Not as a technique, not as something you try to do, but as something you begin to see clearly. Because when you see that every reaction recreates the same result, something starts to slow down, not by force, not by discipline, by clarity. You begin to notice the impulse to act without immediately following it, the impulse to fix without immediately moving, the impulse to interpret without turning it into meaning. And in that pause, something unfamiliar appears. Space. Not excitement, not answers, not transformation, just space. And in that space, the loop has nothing to push against. This is why the Gnostics said, freedom does not come from doing more. It comes from no longer needing to do anything with what you see. This does not mean life stops. Decisions still happen. Actions still occur. But they are no longer driven by tension. They are no longer attempts to fix yourself. They arise naturally, without pressure, without effort. And when that happens, something subtle but irreversible begins. The repetition fades, not because you escaped it, but because it no longer needs you. This is why nothing you've tried has worked. Not because you were doing it wrong, but because you were still doing something. And the loop feeds on that. So the real question is not, what should I do next? The real question is, what happens if you stop interfering, even for a moment?